Crinks. Okay, thanks for joining us. Okay, so we're going into a different direction here. On your seats. So I've talked about this before. I'm kind of recycling some of the stuff I've said in the past. It seems like it's something that needed to be brought up. Probably got buried out there somewhere. So San Francisco is not exactly a normal place. There's a lot of bizarre statues there. It is a home of the elites, at least in the U.S. Here I'm trying to talk, and it's it's a lot. It's not like it's the home, but it is one of them. Of course, New York City is one of them. Oregon has a lot of their energies. Whatever, they're everywhere. For the 1%, they have a lot of places they hang out at. Of course, they have their elite dominions like Salesforce and all that, Oracle, and so on. Always the company. But yeah, the portal over San Francisco is it's just an odd place. Of course, the whole thing with the banking Silicon Bank is near that area, not too far. So, for the looting. Also, Brussels, city of the elite. It's a place of. I talked about this before too. It's NATO is there. What is it? The EU is there, and it's kind of like and also the Mother of Darkness is there. Mothers of Darkness. It's a castle. Human sacrifice and things like that. There was even in the news about it quite a while back. Of course, they buried it the best they could. So that's Brussels. It's like a hiding place for them. I mean, it's not like they're walking around advertising themselves, but it is, a lot of shady energies are there. But I always feel Germany. They might live in Brussels, but they do a lot of their work in Germany for reasons. I mean, they have World War II on their back, so yeah, I'm sure that's all been cleared out. I imagine it's all good guys there now. Yeah, okay. And they don't run big farm or anything like that. The Brussels energies would just tap into that. Now, if you name like a name, like they don't. No, that's weird on that one though. It's like if you know somebody that's an insider, like a elitist name. I imagine that can get you. If we broadcast it. I mean, that's what I'm getting from that is like they can give you like somebody will leak a name to you and you're stupid enough to say it, and then you go away. It's just that simple. I know I'm probably targeting code also, but if you name these, if you talk about the elite, you're not really mentioning names because a lot of these names are hidden for obvious reasons. But knock on your door, become fast friends, and all of a sudden you're gone. So something around those lines. Yes, very friendly, kind, likes the finer things of life, and watch the world burn. They're doing that definitely. So also the insider, Ronald Bernard. Speaking of insiders, I remember when he popped out of nowhere. I don't remember what it was. Like maybe it was 2016 or 17. I can't remember the story, but it kind of blew up the internet. That's like that is something that if anything is recent, it was him. It was like an insider that came from the elite. And then he just, I didn't realize he passed away. He lived in Florida too. He called 911 supposedly. And it acted kind of strange, and then he died, and they found him dead. So, yeah, he drowned somewhere in a lake bed somewhere. But I'm surprised they didn't hang him with like a red tie or something like that. It's like, yeah, there's no conspiracy here. They're just People just happen to kill themselves and hang themselves in the same color tie. So I think there's something out there like that. But I don't think this is a conspiracy. He was talking about child sacrifice, things like that, and just conveniently dies. So you know, yeah, he didn't want to. Yeah, I don't think he wanted to be involved with the child sacrifice. Of course, you don't hear about that really. They keep it pretty well covered up for obvious reasons. That doesn't mean it doesn't happen. That's what the Mothers of Darkness is about. I mean, that even became public. They just became better at hiding it for now, at least. Of course, the Mother of Darkness isn't being used too much anymore. So yeah, this is a nice cheery subject matter. But you never know. This might help jog some people in their awakening. You need this type of. I mean, you have some facts to some of this. You just have to know how to read between the lines, kind of. If that's one way of wording it. San Francisco has a lot of bizarre statues, especially on the buildings that are high up in the sky, like some shadow beings wearing cloaks. It's like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, there's nothing weird going on there. Everything's just fine. Why would you need that up there? I mean, obviously they're not scared to hide it. It's definitely a portal energy. It's like, yeah, just something out of a movie, basically. Just inhuman people, basically. Connected to the banks. When I was in Chicago, I was around because we don't really have a banking thing here, like a downtown financial area, or just Florida. It's like Miami does. I've been in Miami, but I wasn't there long enough to see it. But I imagine they have something there, or maybe they don't. But the Chicago had like their own little financial district, and you can feel the manipulation. You can feel the portal energies. It was not normal. I even made videos down there a long time ago. Yeah, it was very. The rumors are true. So, of course, they got energies from the aliens that talk about them and not what's happening here. But the aliens aren't really doing a whole lot. Hey, talk about us, and we're just going to sit in the background and do nothing. We're not going to fly around or beam you to our ship or anything like that. We're going to do anything. Just talk about us. It's like, shit. Okay, whatever you say. They're trying to get their act together too, apparently. They don't have all the answers. Nobody does. So we'll go into some of that chaotic energies. I just want to cover prior sessions. We have a scheduler. We have a shop here. With a webinar, social network, behind the scenes. Oh yeah, we have the video archive. There you go. I took a lot of stuff down because the page was not loading. I'm still playing around with it. Just in case YouTube pulls the plug, or who knows. I'm surprised I'm allowed to post stuff there. So this is San Francisco. Lovely. I forget what about building this is, but it doesn't really matter. It shows it is a building. That's just creepy as shit. It gets better and better, though. Apparently, this a Roman goddess on top of I don't know what building that is, but I think this is new. Kind of odd, don't you think? Or not odd. I guess this is new. I think this is real. I don't know. This is Venus, a 90-foot Venus statue in San Francisco with all what's going on. Like, it's being looted. It looks pretty real. That doesn't look real, but I think it's real. I think it's been built. And it's creepy as shit. Tallest sculpture in San Francisco. I know somebody in San Francisco, so I can ask him about it. It just gets better and better, doesn't it? And San Francisco is like tearing itself apart. I'm not sure it's still doing it, but it was at one time. So yeah, maybe the rumors are true. I mean, we should have some evidence. You have evidence of whatever the hell that is. Yeah, it just gets better and better. I guess this was like found recently. Jeez, creepy. It's creepy stuff out here. Yeah, then again, yeah, nothing weird about that. Everything's fine. And also, the San Francisco has Egyptian an Egyptian exhibit. This is in San Francisco somewhere. No, it's like they're permanently closed. Oh, maybe not. It was opening before the pandemic, most likely. Interesting. That's yeah, probably is San Francisco Museum of Ancient Civilizations. That is a little odd. So they have an exhibit there, but that might be just for temporary. So anyway, we're kind of going backwards a little bit. So this is Bernard, and yeah, this is 20. No, this is he came out. Yeah, 2017 sounds about right. It was a while back, and little by little he would have something else come out, but now he's gone. In theory, ex-Illuminati, yeah. So they talk, yeah, it's in a different language when he's speaking. They have subtitles. No, maybe not that. So yeah, you can find them on BitChute. I think they took it down from my YouTube. And Brussels, so you have the UN headquarters, European Union headquarters. Anyway, it's close enough. And yeah, I have all these castles in Brussels. It's not making itself clear. Yeah, that's fucking weird. Yeah, I've looked at this stuff before, but it's nothing weird that looks strange. Everything's fine. And this, I thought this was in. I guess they have the same one in Germany. So, but it looks like Brussels. They're trying to look squeaky clean because it's working, and that's a portal going through to the church. So I think it's a church, right? Looks like a church. Looks like a creepy Illuminati church. And you have this. I mean, I imagine life there is pretty decent, and so the good guys and the bad guys go there. I guess the white hats and the black hats. That sounds like such a cartoon here. Just saying that sounds juvenile. Anyway, the black hats and the white hats. Yeah, we're living in a cartoon. But yeah, the good guys and the bad guys are there. It's like Brussels is like a neutral place where they can settle their differences. New York is like a battleground. San Francisco kind of is a neutral area too. Like they go there to, because it's by Silicon Valley. So it's the looting of humanity. How's the mind control going over there? Well, many are giving away their power, so mind control works out very easy. They make it easy. People make it easy. They get connected to like a spiritual teacher that's telling everybody, just listen to me. I'm the only one that's any good anywhere. All these other guys don't know what they're doing. That might be a red flag. Like light language. I mean, I think light language is fine. I mean, you just gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, it's good there's good light language and there's manipulative light language. And you just have to know where you're getting involved with there. I don't think it's a bad thing. But when you have a spiritual influencer that's telling everybody, like she's the real deal and you need to go to her and nobody else, like, geez, what does that say? And she has a big following too. And she looks like she's insane. And I have to look this up. Was it the red? See the red queen? Yeah. Jeez. I didn't know about this, but Oh, good here. So apparently, some spiritual energies can be like this. Yeah, that's how weak people are. So I guess you have this like goddess person walking around all telling people that what they want to hear, and then she turns into that. It's like, so I guess there are some spiritual healers that are like that, that are very attractive, but then sucking the life of everybody, and then they end up. There's a spiritual teacher that looks like that. This is from Game of Thrones, and I'm not enough familiar with Game of Thrones, so yikes. Anyway, yeah, lovely. So, all right, we're going to San Francisco energies. Jeez. If you're up for it, Brussels energy. I feel like it's like Switzerland. Switzerland has a lot of strong energies there too. You say Brussels is stronger. I don't know. I always guess Switzerland is actually stronger. It's just that Brussels is where they all hang out, something like that. And you do a lot of their work in Germany. They do around the world, but Germany has a lot of their energies. So, okay, we're going to San Francisco, Brussels, and Ronald Bernard would just happen to something that's connected to him, whatever it needs to be said on that level. So, all right, blessings for you. Greetings, we had a consciousness of San Francisco. Yes, many of your founders are, yes, elitists. They know exactly what they're doing, basically the city grid to capture souls. The idea is to kind of like the city is engineered. It's like a creature itself. It attracts people to its energy field to create what you call normalcy. So it's the architecture of your reality. San Francisco is one of many cities that, but it's just really to create the narrative. And yes, you incarnate, you live what you call normal. Yes, but it does have like a soul sucking energy to this. You see the economy, you see all these things, manipulations. And yes, this world is challenging. You can get what you can out of here, but the world does not have to continue like this forever. It's up to the human race to overcome these lessons to where you don't have to learn it in this way because this world is like a portal itself. It's going to hold on to the souls as long as it can. Not necessarily the planet itself, but the manipulators that are here, using the planet itself as a vessel to just souls that are weak. You wonder how the darkness gets so strong. Well, it grabs onto souls that become, yes, lazy, misguided. So, especially higher dimensional beings. So, higher dimensional beings become complacent. They think they can do no wrong. This really does happen, though. They get to the higher levels and they get lazy. They stop protecting themselves. Where have you heard this before? And then there are beings that snatch their vibration and bring them to a world like this and copy them and use them to manipulate society. Society, of course, is not aware of magic in the higher dimensions. So it just kind of goes with it. It's called normalcy. So it's up to humanity to start having, yes, conversations. Of course, there's going to be beings to knock that down. Of course, to just say, "Oh, that's not true." No, that's a crazy talk. That shows you how complicated it is here. Eventually, humanity will get it. When is another story. Some of you will get it, yes, but what the rest of the world, it's a little bit much for them to handle. It's like opening up your world. It's like tearing it open and seeing what's inside. brings we a consciousness of Brussels. It is a place of, yes, normalcy, comfort, and a lot of conversations you can say are very adult of how your world works. Yes, but it does it quietly. The idea is for the rest of the world not to know. A place of secrets. So it might not come on your radar as the main, country of the. Of course not, because it has NATO. It has the uh, European Union. It's there to, hey, look, we're protected. Go away. There's nothing to see here. So they're coming off as normal as possible. When in truth, yes, there's things there that's the quite opposite. So, like you would see a person, see all these looks, attractiveness, and all that, cities do the same thing. And some of them, yes, like New York City, at least it's showing its darkness. And it's done by design for it to fall apart. It will come back eventually. It'll improve, but right now, so much corruption there, enjoying itself at this point. And it's thinking about New York and its corruption. The corruption there doesn't know what to do with itself. It just knows it just wants to make lives miserable for whoever they can because they're miserable themselves. It's kind of like having a bunch of trolls running your city, and there's a lot of them. And this soul sucking energies, a lot of them they're not even that creative and smart. It's just that they got nowhere else to go. I mean, once you become so corrupt, nobody will take you. But New York City already take it, so might as well just stay here and just keep looting it until they get fired or something like that. But Brussels is not trying to get attention to itself. Why would it? Yeah, send it all to Switzerland, somewhere like that. There's a lot of meetings in Brussels. Just not going to make it public, of course, how your world is run. Yes, there's a lot of UN energy there, of course. But it's not going to be cut and dry. Like, by the way, we are running your world. They're not going to do that. They're protecting themselves for a reason. Look somewhere else but here. Reasons use the consciousness of Ronald Bernard. And yes, there is a lot of fear in this individual. Now, was he telling you everything? No. He kept a lot back for personal reasons, meaning he didn't want to expose himself because there's a lot of things he's not proud of. But yes, you would say he escaped. Well, they do let you out. Sure, go ahead and talk. Do whatever you want. You won't last very long. Yes, do not say any names. Yes, because they can end your whistleblowing very quickly before you even say anything. So, at least in his case, he was allowed to leave. Were they aware of him going public? No, until he did it. And obviously, they just kind of let him talk until until he lost the limelight, which he didn't have that much to begin with. And then this is like an open secret of how it's all done. You're just not given the names of the figures that are doing it for obvious reasons. And there are some names out there that are, sacred, meaning, they're soulless beings, you can say, but still have a lot of power. I mean, how can you do this to a world like this? Yes, you have to be kind of inhuman, correct? Well, that's true. As long as they continue the agendas that they're there to, program to do. Now they're just like your celebrities, but just they're celebrities at a banking level, at a hidden level. So it's the same thing. It just has more power there. Now, do they have? There are some that kept their soul and don't do the dirty work. Like, you have to be completely soulless to do this with human trafficking and all. And there's quite a few that would do it. Mercenaries and things like that. Areas that some of you probably don't even want to talk about. But they've given glimpses through Hollywood. Hollywood is an eyes of how they do things. Not exactly, not going to tell you the details, but it gives you an idea of how low they can go. Yes, there's militaries, Delta Force, or whatever they call it now. Is basically a military of the elite. Technically, the entire military is an elitist worldwide. There's different elite groups. That's all. They're using your militaries against each other, and humans are just a pawn in the game. And doesn't mean you have to be a victim looking at all this. Don't do that. It's good to have your power back, but now will these people get exposed? Not likely. Do they need to? Eventually, but right now, humanity has to kind of break itself out of the trick bag itself, and which is not doing. Some are, which is good. Most are not. Most see this as fine. They allow it to happen. They just, and that's what they need where they're at, and that's going to go on for a long time. So it's not right or wrong, really. It's just that many are not interested to see the other side of this reality. Some of you are. You're here to you see the mechanics of it. There's only so much you need to see to do what you're doing. You don't have to see all the gritty areas. You can. Some of you do see it in astral, where the human trafficking energy, where you're actually getting those people out. Without going into all details on that.